off, we welcome in baseball head coach Mike Littlewood to Studio B on BYU Sports Nation. Mike, how's it going?
It's going well. Glad to be here.
You're looking a little tan, and that might be because you went to American Samoa recently. Tell us about that trip.
Oh, it was a great trip. It was set up as a humanitarian trip, and originally we thought we'll go down there and teach them everything we know, and this is going to be all about us giving to them. And after the week-long trip, it kind of turned around. They gave a lot back to us, so it was an awesome trip.
Who organized this trip?
So it goes back to 2011 when Brent Herring, my assistant coach, who married a Samoan girl, Mary Falatea, and it goes back to a former BYU player, Murphy Sua, who was coaching at Dominguez Hills at the time.
And I know Murphy's son, Justin from when I called
Sua,
the game.
Yeah, great guy. So we played Dominguez Hills, and Brent talked to Murphy after the game. This was in 2010, and they kind of got together. Murphy and Brent took a team down, an American team down, to play a team from Samoa, and that's kind of just how when Brent came back, Victor Langkilde, who was an Olympic committee member for Samoa, called Brent and said, "Hey, we'd like you to be our Samoan national coach." So he brought a team up here, and it just when we were down at Dixie, and when Brent was in his interview with Tom and Brian for this job, they noticed that he was the Samoan national coach, and I think Brian said, "Hey, we need to get down there and do some clinics and do some work. I'd love to go down there." And it just blossomed into this incredible trip. We did. You can see pictures there. 4 or 5 clinics, 3 baseball, softball clinics.
Look at all those BYU shirts.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I think Brian sent those down before, and he sent down some basketballs. They have no equipment. We did a clinic on the first night with the more advanced kids, and maybe 70% of those kids had gloves. But then on Thursday, we did a clinic for younger kids and maybe like just kids who were starting out, didn't even play baseball. None of them had gloves. So I was doing a throwing station, and we'd throw a ball into the screen, go pick the ball up, come back and throw it into the screen. Screens had big holes in them, so some kids would throw it through the hole and have to run in the weeds and get them. But it was man, they were respectful kids, athletic as a whole. Really willing to listen and learn and humble. It was a great experience. I think I got much more out of it than I gave those guys.
Did you secretly write down some mental notes as far as kids, coming back? Okay, this kid's maybe ready in about 18 years for recruiting. Any future recruiting opportunities that you see? They're
pretty raw baseball-wise. They have a passion for baseball and softball, but they are pretty raw. They need to learn. They're athletic, and it was interesting. Even the young kids, I would teach them pretty complicated footwork as we got going, and man, they could pick it up really quick.
Nice.
And they had good arm speed, and they were fast twitch, and so those are the things you look for in an athlete. But they don't know where to go for backup. They don't know, they just don't know the intricacies of the game, and so it's going to take a while. And I think the next time we go down, we need to do a coaches clinic, get coaches together, teach them, and so they can. And we're even thinking about putting together some videos as our coaching staff. Just some instructional videos, very simple, and send them down so they can have the basics to be able to go out and then teach their kids. And I did an officiating clinic. There's 12 basketball officials on the island, and that was fun too. We broke down some video and had some good discussions, and so that was a great time too.
Mike Littlewood, the baseball coach, is on BYU Sports Nation. If you do an instructional video, I really want you to do it like Fred McGriff style. This instructional video can work for you.
Yeah, I wonder how much money he made. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, those are classic.
Yeah, it was great.
With football, you've seen BYU mine these raw talents from countries that don't play football. Ziggy Ansah from Ghana, New Zealand with Paul Lasika, Johnny Linehan. Baseball seems like an outlier, Malcolm Gladwell, in that it's hard to put in, get the raw skill set of baseball because it's very technical. Is there another country that, and I'm not talking like the Dominican, they're already playing, right?
Yeah.
A country that doesn't play baseball that you can mine potential recruits?
I think there might be a special athlete out there. Andrew Jones came from Curacao, and they weren't a big baseball. That's the name that comes to my mind right now.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, it's rare. Like in Brazil, they don't even play baseball.
Yeah, well, basketball. You think about it. Basketball, you can go out and all you need is a ball and a hoop.
Yep.
And you can improve your skills, dribbling, and pretty much everything but defense, really. And so you can become a better basketball player that way. But baseball, you need a lot of equipment. You need somebody to pitch to. You need somebody to go shag the balls. I mean, it's
high maintenance.
It's different.
Sport,
it really is. You need equipment, and it's just a little bit different. And football, honestly, I mean, there's skill positions, but bigger, stronger, faster. I mean, you take a really good athlete that can run after somebody and hit them. Hey, they're in, you know. And so, obviously, for the skill positions, you have to. It's almost like baseball, where you have to skill specific sport. But baseball is just it's kind of a, like you said, it's an outlier. It's unique. I don't think you could ever go, oh, this kid's a pretty good athlete. Never played baseball. Let's get him going.
Well, football and Ziggy, for an example, you can almost say, hey, you know, you are big, you're fast, you're strong. See that guy with the football? Just go get him. Don't think, right? And so you could slowly start to mold him as they become more and more familiar. Do you see a position like that in baseball at all, where it could be a little bit more easier, where it's just like, you just catch the ball?
On the defensive side, you know, maybe a super fast kid, put him in center field and say, when they hit it to you, run it down. Mm-hmm. But then he's got to throw it.
Yep.
Then he's got to hit, and then he's got to run the bases, and those all take instincts of, you know, hundreds and hundreds of games. I mean, you look at the youth right now; they're playing 80 to 100 games in a year, and that's just experience that the kids in Samoa and other places where they don't play baseball, that they just don't get that. And they're trying to add baseball in some of the high schools, and they play baseball down there. They love softball too, and there were some pretty good softball players down there. I would say overall, the level of softball skill was a little bit higher than the baseball skill.
How many, I guess, BYU fans did you encounter in your trip to American Samoa?
It was awesome. Probably, I mean, everybody, they did a great job promoting it. It was on the radio, TV, and newspapers every day, and so we kind of stuck out a little bit. And so, hey, we saw you on the news. You're doing clinics, and Brian and the athletic department sent down a ton of T-shirts, and so we'd be driving down the road seeing Go Cougs, you know, just running down and so it was great. I mean, it almost felt like 70-80% of the people that we ran into knew what we were doing and appreciated the work we were doing.
Wow, that's a really high number.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. You can read more about that on the baseball blog on BYUCougars.com. I know Brent Herring did that, so check that out. Great stuff. We'll have you on again to talk about fall ball, the season just a couple months away.
Let's do it. Excited about it. Just finished up Saturday with our fall season down at Dixon.
And how'd you do?
We don't
I guess let's talk about it now.
keep score. We don't keep score. But we won 17-5 or 6 or something like that. We played well.
But you don't keep score.
The scoreboard didn't work, but
but the scoreboard
keep
inside,
score.
it always works. Okay, thanks, Mike. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.